horror collectibles and memorabilia, look no further than Nightmare Toys. You can find them online at nightmaretoys.com and on all social media at Nightmare Toys, the official store of THN News and the Horror Basement Podcast. Check them out.
Beyond the Basement. Jim Jam, Johnny, and no, wait. And not Yeti. Just confirmed. Yeti will not be here. Once again. So he abandoned us once again.
He don't love us no more.
Yeah, he don't love us anymore. Got him a fancy job. And just how it goes sometimes, you know? No. He forgot we was recording tonight because it's an unusual time to be recording. We had to move some stuff around. But Jimmy, how was your week, buddy?
Weekend or week?
Just whatever, man.
It was good. Actually got off work 2 days in a row. So that was a very nice. Didn't do much of nothing. I did some live streaming on Twitch and stuff, playing the video game and stuff, which all I'm doing is live streaming my suckiness at video game playing. But I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at it. Trying different characters and all that.
The Dead by Daylight series?
Yeah. I just was it Saturday night I bought Michael Myers. Man, he's slow as shit.
Is he?
Yeah, I think I should.
He's not a real speedster.
No, but he's got a perk where you can, where it makes it pretty much where he can almost run, well, not run, but just walk a lot faster. And then you get to this one. It's called Evil Within Level 3, and he'll have his knife up, and he stabs a person once, and they go to the ground instead of having to hit them twice. But it's taking some figuring out on that game for real. But
hello, Tucker. And my kitty.
Tucker the fucker.
Well, yeah, here I'll turn.
His eyes are glowing. His eyes are glowing over. Well, they were. Oh, there you go. He said, "I want to be in a podcast."
There he is.
I want to be in a podcast.
Like, hey guys. My little tuxedo cat. But buddy, I know something. I learned something this weekend that probably 99.9% of people don't know.
What's that?
How many steps it is from my house to Foodline Shitter?
How do?
Because we was walking and I was like, man, I think we'll have to shit before we go any further. He's like, well, we'll just walk by Foodline. And I thought about it, and I was like, my phone, it automatically tracks that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just go to that Samsung Health app. And I was like, I'm just curious.
Maybe you should buy maybe you should get the app where all you shit at before. They got an app where you can mark down wherever all you shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't shit a whole lot of places. But 1,219 steps is 0.58 miles from my place to Food Line, just bathroom. Yeah, so I guarantee it, 99.9% of people don't know that. I mean,
so how many did you say?
1,219 steps. Now, granted, the phone could be wrong because
it goes off a bounce, don't it? And it kind of like bounce.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't really track it, but I'm pretty sure Food Line is actually a half a mile from my place.
Yeah.
So, it's about a half mile. Whether or not it is actually 1,219 steps, I can't really, I don't really know. That's what it said. So that's what we're going with.
It should be around about close.
Yeah, and if you know how many steps it is from your house to your local Food Lion shitter, hit us up. Let us know.
I need to be walking from my house to Food Line every day.
That'd be a long walk, dude.
One time I didn't want to wait on my car, so I dropped it off at a Manchester Tire, and I didn't want to wait for Amy to come pick me up, so I said I'll just walk. Dude, halfway through that, I regretted that shit. That's a long walk, man. You don't realize how long Hills Chapel is until you walk down that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's a long ways.
Yeah, but I walked from Manchester Tire to the house because I was working third shift is what it was, and I was wanting to get home and get in bed.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a long walk.
I didn't ever do it again though.
No, I wouldn't. Fuck that. We try to go walking at least once a weekend. It's just been too cold.
Hell yeah.
I mean, when it gets down in the 20s, it like if it's like low upper 30s to low 40s, it's all good. But when it hits 20s, like this weekend, it's going to get down to 12 degrees on Sunday.
Fuck that shit.
I asked my brother. I was like, man, I was like, you want to try to go walk? I was like, just the issue with that is your feet. Like you put enough clothes on to be warm, but then your feet. Like I don't have boots or nothing. I ain't walking in boots, you know.
Hell no.
But once your feet, if you put enough socks on, once your feet start sweating, then it's really over because they're going to get cold, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up. I thought that was a fun fact that nobody else probably knows.
Yeah, I'm sure no one else knows that.
Speaking of something else interesting, which I wish I'd have mentioned this last week when we talked, and I didn't. And maybe it wasn't even out last week when we talked. It might not have been, but Bigfoot hunting season. Old Justin Humphrey from Oklahoma is looking to do a Bigfoot hunting season.
But you don't have. But you can. What was it? You can get a license, but it's free. There's a free. You can get the license, and it's free though. So they're not charging you. I'd be pissed if I paid for a damn hunting license for something that is that rare and that evasive, I guess, right?
Yeah, this article it don't really say. It just says that Oklahoma Wildlife Conservation Commission would set up annual dates along with specific hunting licenses and fees.
Fees.
But maybe it's just like, oh, I want to do Bigfoot hunting season, add it to my deer hunting license.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so it's probably only in that one place, right?
Yeah, and it's in Oklahoma because, like he says, a lot of people don't believe in Bigfoot, but a lot of people do.
Yeah, they do for real.
So, I guess
I guess I want to believe because I think it would be pretty cool, but I don't want to come across that big son bitch because more than likely they're not going to attack somebody unless they feel provoked, what I'm thinking, but I don't know. I'm not a Bigfoot expert. We're only ufologists, right, Johnny?
Yeah. I'm not a cryptozoologist. I'm interested in crypto, but I'm not not an expert in it. But it's ultimately to drive tourism. I mean, if you create a hunting season, maybe people will come and enjoy the area.
Yeah.
And get out there and enjoy the wildlife and all that they had to offer in Oklahoma. I've never been to Oklahoma. Yeti's from Oklahoma. He'd be able to speak to that more than we would.
Only he was on here to talk about it.
Yeah. But and you could secure at least $25,000 if you're the first person to track the creature.
I wonder if you can get it online because I would just like to have one just to say I have it. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm gonna look into that, just like Bigfoot hunting license.
And the other thing is though, is like either because to me, like I'm not sure how smart Bigfoot is, or like if they're in tune to technology. but the aliens that control them probably are. It seems like you just push them further and further into the, you know what I'm saying,
The
away.
woods. Yeah,
Yeah,
deeper
like
into the
away from you.
woods.
Yeah, or just where they can hide even better. You know, like use a real good, more
What
skills in
was it?
hiding, or
You know
the
that
aliens
remind.
just won't bring it back as much. You know.
Yeah, that reminds me though. I read something. What was it that they think Bigfoot is like the Predator? He can cloak himself or whatever, or go
Yeah,
like
you said
invisible.
something about that. I hadn't seen anything, but that goes to the effect, and this is why I keep bringing up the aliens with Bigfoot is that aliens bring them in from another dimension, or they're able to hop dimensions. So whenever there's a Bigfoot sighting, a lot of times there's a UFO sighting, and a lot of people claim that UFOs and aliens are controlling Bigfoot or Bigfoot-like creatures and bringing them in from other dimensions or opening other dimensions or whatever, or bringing
Yeah,
them from the world. I mean, you know, opening maybe there's a Bigfoot world and they have a portal dimension, you know, from that world into here. I don't know.
Dimension X.
Yeah, like the old
That
BF dimension.
would be crazy if there's a world with no like technology or nothing. It's just the whole planet's just like woods and just nature. No cities, nothing like that. And they just run. They're the main people or whatever. Or
Oh
what would
yeah,
you call it?
the big
Main
three.
species.
Well, I mean, there'd be aliens there, so
Okay, I guess.
I mean,
If they're
take
aliens there, then there would have to be technology, right? Because they got the
yeah. But then again, though, they could just not disturb anything that the Bigfoots do unless they had the Bigfoots take care of them, like build
yeah,
them their pyramids and stuff, like they did here. You know.
yeah. Because there's no way in hell that they built them big ass pyramids with ropes and pulleys.
Yeah, all over the world.
Yeah,
All over the world.
yeah. How would they? All the other people know to build pyramids too, if they don't?
So that's
They
what I'm
didn't
saying. Like,
travel back then.
there's a lost technology that was here that, as over time, was lost. You know, because whoever landed here was stranded, and they had a technology, and it's gone now. You know what I mean? It's been that long. Had to be.
Yeah, yeah. It's been
Do that,
forever.
or they used it to let you know, hey, there's more to this world, and that you know there's more stuff out there, and we just lost it in translation. You know,
Yep.
could be that. I don't know. You know, there's all kinds of theories out there.
Let us know your theory of the Bigfoot and aliens.
Yeah, and how the pyramids were built. That's what I want to know. I think that's what a lot of people want to know, though.
Yeah, it was pretty fascinating. That was something that massive. And pretty much, they didn't have like metal cables and stuff back then. It was rope.
No,
So I'm sure
they had
them
to have
ropes cannot pick up rocks.
well, and I think they had like copper tools or whatever, like not hard metal, not steel tools to cut rock. Which I mean, there's other ways to cut rock. I mean, with heat and
Yeah.
stuff, you know. But I mean, whoever, whatever they were using was perfect. So, that's why I say there's lost knowledge and technology throughout the thousands of years on being able to build like that without having to have heavy equipment or you know what I'm saying? Like there's something lost.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there definitely is. This, like you said, it's just a lost technology that we'll
Yeah,
never know
lost
about.
information. Really, like if we just had the information somehow of how they did it, it'd just be awesome. Like
Yeah.
I would just like to know. Yeah.
Yep.
So Jimmy sent this one over to old Ti and Tiny, his wife Tiny. What song does Ti sing?
24s. Oh man,
Rolling on 24s, or
yeah. I would try to sing it, but I can't do it. Let me
I don't
see.
even know. Okay, I'm so bad with people that with songs like who sings what.
Bring them out. Uh,
Bring them out. Yeah. Anyways,
Big things
him and his wife,
popping. Yeah.
are have denied claims of sexual assault and facilitating sexual abuse from Atlanta resident Sabrina Peterson.
Yeah,
And
I believe from what I'm read and stuff, it was a disgruntled thing or something. She was just mad because of something. That's the only reason she's doing this. But I don't know.
yeah, and I should have brought this up before. What we're just going to talk about. We're just going to talk about this, and then NXIVM, the NXIVM cult. Like I
Yeah, the
forgot the
NXIVM
better.
cult, not the medicine.
Yeah, but yeah. So apparently he's being accused of sex trafficking. I don't know how sex trafficking comes in when all you have on it is that he pressured them to take drugs and take their clothes off and to have sex with them or others present. I mean, I thought sex trafficking was technically trafficking people to other places, but I could be wrong. I don't know a whole lot about sex trafficking because I'm not in that world. I would think you'd be forced prostitution, but I guess they didn't get paid, so I guess yeah. I see how it's sex trafficking now. I worked that out in my own head in that little short period of time. So
Um,
if, of course, he denies it. Him and his wife deny it, and
yeah, he put out a video saying, of course, that they didn't have nothing to do with nothing like that. And if they do anything like that, it's between him and his wife, and they always get consent. Like if they have a threesome or something, is what I'm getting at. Thinking that he was talking about. They if they do have a threesome, whatever, that everyone is of all consenting.
yeah. And then now they might do drugs.
That's what I'm saying. Like they probably got tired of this girl or something. This is just my thinking. They got tired of her and dropped her ass, and she got pissy about it because she wasn't. They didn't want to have nothing to do with her no more, so she made up those claims, or she's just trying to get money out of it.
Yeah, you can't ever tell because, and that's always the issue is with other people lying, and being caught lying about celebrities and just people, individuals in general. It
Yeah,
puts a negative view. It's hard to believe. You start having doubts, which is unfortunate.
yeah,
You know, you have people trying to get their 15 minutes of fame and all that, and even Marilyn Manson's dealing with it now.
is it?
His ex fiance from 2010 has come out, and she's been claiming that she was been abused. She was abused in her past relationship, and finally called him out over the weekend. Said it was his real name. This is who my abuser was, and that he groomed her from a young age, and all this. I was like,
Wow.
damn. Yeah, but I mean, all that's going to come to light. Like eventually, if you treat people like garbage and you hurt people, eventually they're going to become strong enough to come out and
No.
not be afraid of you anymore. Time will
Oh yeah.
fucking pass.
That's another
So
thing I don't understand with these. Those people that have money and power. Why would you continue to just do shit like that? It's you're never gonna get away with it for. You might get away with it for however long, but eventually it's gonna come to light.
oh yeah, yeah, but I think a lot of it though was it. A lot of people were getting away with it for decades,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were being protected by the industries that they were in, and they could call out and be like, "Yeah, that's not true," and people would automatically believe them. But now it's just, I mean, runs rampant through every industry where people hold any type of power. You know, in entertainment industry, it seems like that sexual abuse and sexual assault has been a part of it from the beginning. It seems like because people have been able to cover it up. You know, people in powerful situations and hold all the money, take advantage of that.
Yeah, I guess if you got
And,
money
and,
to
and,
them,
and let's be honest, it's mostly men. So
yeah.
you know,
But I've been on a little kick for the past week or so. I started listening to a podcast talking about um oh shit. We get it pulled up. Uh Keith Ray Rene- Keith Rainier. He is the founder of the NXIVM cult. Well, it was really a self help group, but come to find out, it's really a cult. Uh, but it was Keith and his associate, um, Nancy Salzman. They both started this self help group, and it's like a pyramid type scheme thing. They said it was where you have a couple people on top, and you have people under you, and you get them people to recruit people, and so on. So if you do it right, like they did, you can get a lot of damn people. But kind of do a little. Let's see.
synopsis is what you just
Yeah,
did. Yeah, they would. I think it's kind of like the one church where they get celebrities to come in.
Scientology.
Yeah, and I didn't want to say it. I didn't want them to come after us, but
I,
well, you fucked that up.
I don't think they're as powerful as they once was.
I don't know, dude. Well, yeah, true. Uh, and this is what I don't understand. Like, I've come on here and said before, like when I was younger, like I thought it'd be cool to have a cult where people listen to you and follow you, and you can tell them, and you bring joy in their life. But why does every one of them got to be a sex cult?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess. I don't
I have a
know.
regular cult, like where you just follow one individual, and that individual leads you astray from society, but yet you're taken care of.
Yeah. Well, this all started in '98, like I said, with Ranieri and Nancy Salzman. It's a personal development company offering executive success program (ESP) and a range of techniques for self improvement. He claimed that the program's main emphasis is to have people experience more joy in their lives. And he wanted people to refer to him as Vanguard, and Nancy was prefect. So he had fucking wild ass names and everything too.
Oh, so she was a neuro-linguistic programming practitioner of hypnotism and neuro-linguistic programming. If you don't know what that is, that's like uh what's it called?
Yeah, they could pretty much make you do it.
Well, it's
Like
it's a type of hypnosis that you don't even realize you're being hypnotized, or you're being misled, and I can't think of the exact word, dark hypnosis, or oh man, I've read up on that quite a bit. Um,
but the reason
and
they was able to get so big is because Keith he started talking with, and he got Claire Bronfman and her sister. They're the heirs to the
the heirs.
Seagram's heirs, yeah, to the Seagram's fortune. So their dad was a billionaire. So he was able to get them come in, and you know I think a few $1 million that he used out of their money, and he would use other people's money. But one of the the more well-known name that was in this cult was Allison Mack. If you watched the show Smallville back in the day, she was in it. And I think a lot of this come out mainstream wise because of a woman named Sarah Edmondson, which is that's the podcast that I listen to and got a lot of this information from. But their NXIVM was had tons of members, but they're also with Keith and Allison, they created a subgroup. It was supposed to be for just women only. It was called DOS, and they would recruit women, and it was supposed to be like to help the women gain more rank in the NXIVM and all this. And it turned out to be more just a pool of women for Keith to get with or whatever.
Yeah,
but
didn't they brand him?
Yeah. That's what sent Sarah over the edge after they tried to tell you that the sign that they branded on it was some kind of I don't know, special sign, but when you got to look at it, it was KR, kind of like sideways.
Yeah.
So when
he
Sarah, he put his initials on her, but when Sarah realized that and saw that, that's all it took for her. She was like, "I'm done. Fuck this." And she was really upset because she was a woman that didn't have tattoos or piercings. I don't know about piercings, but she didn't have no tattoos. So she was really upset that she scarred up her body for this, and she was in the group forever. She had her own in Canada. She had her own it's not a store, but what is it called? She had her own branch or whatever where she would recruit. Yeah, whatever it was. But she would recruit people. And
so she had her own little office to brainwash people.
Yeah, but she thought that, of course, a lot of them, they wasn't in on what they were really wanting to do. And apparently he was grooming girls like at the age of 12 and 13 and, whatever. And he was even, having sex with underage girls. Yeah, it's pretty damn nuts. But apparently, he was really smart, or like he had what was that, like what's the damn word for? What's that test you take to make to see what your yeah, his IQ was like, it's 200. Is that a lot?
Yeah.
Well, it was up. It's in the 200s area. There's so much that was with this, I can't remember which, but apparently he was speaking at the age of 1, and so yeah, he
level, I believe.
But all this took place in like a suburb of Albany, New York. And they had a bunch of little houses, I guess, all in a little neighborhood. And but yeah, they also got another woman from what's that TV show that takes place in Hawaii? Hawaii 5-0?
Yeah.
No. Is it Hawaii? I think it was Hawaii 5-0, if I'm should tell.
That's the only one I know. Besides, I mean,
and then there was another girl from she was only in there a short period of time, but she was in Smallville as well. I think her name was Kristen Creek.
Kristen Creek.
Yeah, that's her, right?
Yeah,
so,
Kristen
Creek. She played Lois Lane.
Yeah, she's been in she was in, I think, wasn't there a Beauty and the Beast series? And
she was also in, you remember Euro Trip?
Yeah. but she's been she's been in quite a few CW TV shows. Yeah.
Trying to see what that girl's name
Yeah, I had
was.
a crush on her so hard when Smallville.
Yeah, I used to
Man,
love that show for real. That show was awesome.
her, I was just like in love with her, and it's just like, man, she is so pretty.
Yeah, I can't remember that girl's name from Hawaii Five. I think it was Hawaii Five O. But yeah, that's one of the things that he focused on was got like celebrities and a lot of people that had like a lot of big influence on people, so they can recruit more. And of course, he got people with lots of money. Thank you, the who's the guy that owns Virgin Mobile or Virgin Records and all that?
Oh,
Bronson. Is it Bronson?
yeah, something like that.
Well,
Um,
apparently he took some classes in NXIVM. There was quite a few people that took classes in there, but
yeah, I mean, I guess if you see someone that's really successful and people are happy on the outside, and like he's actually had results, like in improving people's lives, I can see why the uber successful and rich would want to try to feel better about themselves because money don't always make you happy, as
yeah,
they say. No, because
but
I have had millions of dollars.
yeah. Well, one of the things that kind of I guess helped legitimize it some is they got the Dalai Lama to come speak at one of their events, and of course Keith, he that right there just made him that just tickled his pickle having him there. Um, but apparently the one of the Bronfman sister, they paid the Dalai Lama like $1 million to come speak.
Good
The
God.
Dalai Lama was like, "Yeah, I'll take it."
Yeah,
I would go speak at the damn NXIVM event for $1 million. But
I heard someone make a comment about the Dalai Lama that if you asked about him over wherever he's from, uh, people didn't like him. He drove Rolls Royces and all that, had Rolls Royces and all that stuff because he made so much money off of it. Which I don't know if that's true. I don't know anything about him.
yeah, but going back to the DOS thing, one of the things that they would do, these women, they would what was it? Okay, this was just from Sarah Edmondson. Was allegedly the participants were blindfolded, naked, held down by Mac and 3 other women, and branded by NXIVM affiliated Dr. Danielle Roberts using a cauterizing pen, and it took about 30 to 45 minutes to do it. So,
God damn.
and if they squirmed, it took a lot longer. Uh,
Why wouldn't you fucking got a brander made? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
geez,
think it
dude.
was just that they wanted to torture him, but to be involved in this group, they would have to get. It was a secret sisterhood within NXIVM in which female members were allegedly called slaves, branded with the initials of Rhaenyra and Mac, and apparently also it had AM in it too for Allison Mac.
Yeah.
If subject to corporal punishment from their masters and required to provide nude photos or other potential damaging information about themselves as collateral. So, like, if they
Fuck.
didn't listen to, it was a whole that was a thing of like, the people above them was master and they were the slaves, and they had to be pretty much on call 24/7. So,
And that's where the downfall. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, that's what pretty much got him caught in a way, I guess, because I he got he let his dick do the thinking is what it was, and
Yeah.
and I don't
Well,
think
it's the ego. Like the
yeah the
ego
ego
starts
there you
taking
go.
over. Like you have so much power.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
his head was
control.
just blowed
You have
up,
yeah. You have so much control over people. Which I guess
and I
in any
guess
cult, though, that's the issue. You'd have to control that power.
yeah
You
I
know.
guess he wanted to see how far he can take it and how much they would do for him, but ultimately it led to his downfall, which he's in jail in Brooklyn right now,
Yeah,
serving I
and
think
that's
100 years or something like that.
120.
Yeah,
And that's where you have to set your limit on if if you're going to have a cult, as long as you're not physically or mentally harming people. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not causing harm,
yeah.
and it's okay. Like that's how you should live your life in general. But
But that's not the only thing that they were doing with that DOS thing, though. Apparently, they were also doing experiments and stuff. And let's see, let me get to it. Uh, one of the experiments, a woman described taking part in it, where a resident doctor played 3 disturbing videos, and I guess he just wanted to see her reaction to it. And the first scene was what was it? Oh, the scene from American History X, where
always
what's his name? Edward. Not
Norton.
Edward. Edward. Yeah, Edward Norton made the guy bite the curb, and
curse.
and the doctor though he didn't give no um explanation or anything what they're about to watch or what they're about to do. So they just went in blind, and she said that woman said that she started crying just from that scene, because just like boom, like if you just see that scene, not prepared for it, and just like when I first saw it, I was like, and hearing the teeth grind across the concrete, I was like, oh God, makes me kind of nauseous thing about it now. But then there was a second video played. Apparently, it was what movie was it? It was a movie with what's the girl from Silence of the Lamb?
Oh, dude,
Jodie
Clary.
Foster. Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster. Yeah.
Yeah, she played in some movie where she got really bad raped in a bar in the 80s. I can't remember the name of that movie, but she got gang raped in it. Yeah, that really fucked her up. And then he was like, the way you're reacting with these, you probably need to, you probably don't want to watch this last one. And, I guess it got in her mind that, like, oh, the girl, because her roommates were the one that recommended her to do this. I should have led with that, but her roommate got her to go do this stuff. But, and her roommate come back crying after doing it. But she said, well, she's done all 3 of the videos, and I'm going to do it, damn it. Just fuck it. Just show it. And he played the video, and it was, I think it was 5 topless women on their knees, and had guys behind them in like hoods. And the guys pulled their head back and just proceeded to cut their heads off. And she said it looked like a real movie. It didn't look like an actual movie. It looked like a snuff film. So, and he told her that if she's acting like that and reacting like that, there's something wrong with her, and she needs. He thinks that she needs to do some kind of class to look inside herself and figure out what made her react like that and fix it.
So she needs to be desensitized.
Yeah, that's what I was getting. And I'm thinking, your regular person is not going to be desensitized to that. That's why would you be desensitized? I know like people like in was in Afghanistan and places like that, they're probably desensitized to stuff like that, because my cousin was I guess during war mainly, but I'm only going off that because my cousin was in the Iraq war. And he come back and he let me look at his pictures on his computer and there was just dead bodies laying down the sides of the roads and shit. So, but certain people are like, just in our country or in the US, that's just something you don't see all the time unless you watch movies and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't see dead bodies. It's not natural to.
No.
I don't think it's. But that's more a manipulation thing for him to tell her that way they can take more advantage of her. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and
like
that was one.
fuck with her emotionally get in her head. Where
That
it's
was one of the
easy,
things
more
too. Like if they got upset or something like that, the people would tell them that that's your problem. You need to fix it. You need to figure out why you got upset. That's your problem.
yeah.
So pretty much the whole program is trying to tuck away emotions.
Well, and that's manipulation. Like that way, you feel bad about yourself. It lowers your self esteem because you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then if they do something bad to you, then you feel like it's your fault that you feel that way. Therefore, you won't go tell someone. I mean, that's all.
Yeah.
That's just psychology, like a psychological bullshit.
Yeah.
That
That's
none.
what, like you just said though, that's just them trying to get in their
Yeah.
head enough where they can make it where like when I say if he never would have got caught, then lot more fucked up shit would have happened. Because if he could desensitize them to all this, then there's no telling what would have happened. You know?
Oh yeah, and that's just like when people get in a bad relationship and their fucking spouse walks all over them and just lowers their self esteem so low. You know what I'm saying? They don't think they can do any better,
Yeah.
and everything's your fault. You know what I'm saying? They always make it your fault.
Yeah.
Then if something's always your fault and that person's telling you that it's always your fault, that
Of course, you're going to
they're doing
believe
it
that.
because it's your fault, then there's an issue with your relationship. You're being
Yeah.
manipulated.
Definitely.
They're fucking with your emotions to make you feel that way so that you won't fucking step out and leave. They won't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. But let me get to this, and this is let's see, Ranieri's federal trial began on May 7th, 2019, and on June 19th, 2019, he was convicted of racketeering and sex trafficking. In January 2020, a federal lawsuit was filed in New York accusing Ranieri of 14 associates and 14 associates of conducting illegal psychological experiments on members of the company and abusing them physically, emotionally, and financially. So that's where that one thing I was talking about came, the psychological experiments. So,
Yeah. What a fucking garbage. But like I say, a lot of these cult leaders, or people that get into power and you form something like a cult, it just goes to their head, man. Your ego blows up. You lose touch with reality
yeah.
because you eventually think that you are a god or whatever.
So well, this is back in 2019, but Nancy Salzman, which was the co-founder, she pleaded guilty to charge of racketeering criminal conspiracy, and her daughter Lauren Salzman pleaded guilty to racketeering and racketeering conspiracy. What is racketeering, by the way?
Oh
Is that
fuck!
is that a money thing?
I think so. But
But
I,
Allison Mack also pleaded guilty to racketeering, and Broth, the Brothman sister, one of the sisters, she got pleaded guilty to charges of harboring an alien and identity fraud. Bookkeeper Russell also pleaded guilty to visa fraud.
yeah, dishonest and fraudulent business dealings.
Oh yeah. They definitely did that. Um,
That's what it is. So
I can't remember if it was Ranieri's ex girlfriend, but like she spent all her life savings doing stuff for him, and he just shitted away. And she had like millions of dollars in savings and stuff, and he pissed it all away, and she has nothing now.
yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's what a leech does.
Elites or leech? Is that what you said? A leech or elites?
A
Kind of
leech,
goes. Yeah,
yeah, and elites. I mean, elites and leeches. I mean,
yeah, they're
that's what
both
they do.
one and the same. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's a crazy story, and I don't. There's a documentary on Where is it? I don't know if it's HBO Max. No, Stars. It's the Sarah girl. I said Sarah Abram. Was it? No, I forgot her name. Sarah Edmondson. She's got a documentary or something on Stars, which I want to try to find and watch it too. But yeah, man, it's I don't know if we'll get to talk about it. Also, this kind of end on that, but pretty much fucked up situation. Keith Raniere, like a lot of cult leaders, fucking nuts. Into himself big time. Like also, damn, I'm all over the place with this one. I should have been more. But anyways, he would hold volleyball. Like he would go play volleyball at like a bar that had a volleyball net set up, and he would encourage NXIVM members to come watch him play. And in between the breaks, if you're one of the lucky ones, you can come up and whisper in his ear and talk to him for a moment. Like he was just the best thing in the world, and like,
Yeah. If he had a 200 IQ, and he was, I always probably felt like the smartest person in the room.
Oh yeah, and definitely probably made people feel stupid. There's the interview Allison Mack did with him, and she was just like, he would just say something random, and she's like, "Oh my god, that is so beautiful," and just act like she like legit starts crying, and like, dude, this motherfucker really got in her head, and that sucks, because she had a lot going on. She like left acting and everything for this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
I remember this coming out. I think it was what 2017. This all come out.
Yeah,
somewhere around there. But yeah, but he's behind bars. He ain't getting out no time soon, and he's probably someone's bitch. I hope. So
well, he's probably got. I mean, if he's actual 200 IQ, he's got a.
he's got a bitch. One or the other.
He's manipulating motherfuckers in there left and right, probably.
Oh yeah. But another this listen to this podcast. It's a CBC podcast. It's a Canadian broadcasting thing. Got me to start listening to something about this one podcast called Evil by Design, and it's talking about Peter Nygard, and I saw somewhere that Peter Nygard is referred to as the Canadian Jeffrey Epstein, but he's like a clothing. He does. It's not like Versace clothing or something like that expensive. He was a fashion mogul. Fashion mogul is what I was looking for. But like for clothes for like in Walmart and like women's lines of clothing and swimsuits and stuff. But he took residence in the Bahamas, and then he preyed on Bohemian women, mainly the ones from like the shitty parts, because he can bring them into what he called the Nygard key. He had like a little compound where he would bring women in, underage girls and all this, and he would drug them. Some of them he would drug them, and some of them he would pay, but he would just promise them modeling and all this stuff, and he would just get them in there and then drug them, do what he needed to do, then hand them a roll of money, like hush money, and send them on their way. But I think he just recently got put in jail for all this. But he was paying off cops in the Bahamas and helping government officials, get into office. So he was paying them off so he can stay in the Bahamas and do what he does with those women and stuff, those little girls, because some of them were, I think, 13 and 14. But Yeah, a lot of they're calling all the women that come forward Jane Does, and I think 6 or 7 women's come forward so far, and there's no telling how many because he's been doing it for years.
It just seems like that shit runs rampant through all the freaking, just like I say, elite. People that are considered to be elite or
Oh
elite.
yeah, it seems like I guess all these people that's involved in this, like victims of it, they're finally just like, fuck it, we're not sitting back, we're not shutting up no more. These motherfuckers are gonna pay, and it's wild how all this is, from 2017 with Keith Raniere, and then was it Epstein? Was it 18, 19,
Ah,
somewhere around there?
somewhere.
Yeah, and then this other dude from Canada. So it's like the elite are falling.
Yeah, these
Just
people in power, people the weak are starting to step up and be like, "Fuck you." Which I
and
mean,
this.
it's gone on too long.
Oh yeah,
It's
and then
it's just gone on and just let go. People just ignore the shit.
yeah. Oh, they do definitely. But another thing, this is totally off that subject, but it still has to do with kind of like motherfuckers that's got tons of money. Is the whole Reddit groups? The I think it was like Wall Street Reddit group.
Oh yeah,
Flipped the script on fucking hedge funds and billionaires in Wall Street and started buying up GameStop and AMC stocks, and like there's hedge funds that went bankrupt because they but you know what the fucked up part is, they're cool, Wall Street's cool with all these hedge funds and billionaires doing it, but when the little guys like you and me, when we go in here
oh
and try to do that, oh, they like Robinhood app, them motherfuckers said they couldn't sell GameStop shares no more.
yeah. They couldn't buy them, and that all come from these people are paying attention to what these hedge fund managers are doing, and they're undercutting these stocks by borrowing against them and then
They're betting
releasing them.
against they're
Well,
betting
they
against them or
borrow them,
something.
they
Okay.
borrow them or something. They borrow money against it, and then they put so many shares out there, and it runs the stock down, and then they buy that, and then it comes back up like it's a weird. I forget how it was explained in like a layman's terms, simple terms, but like say they borrow the stock at $20 and then they run it down to 10. Well, then they would give it back, and then the company would have to pay them $10 per share. Would have to give them their $20, and the stock would drop. So then they'd come in and they buy the stock real dirt cheap. So really they're ruining the fucking company and the stock, because people are going to lose jobs. Well, fucking the Redditors took it back and was like, oh yeah, here you go. Now you've lost millions and millions. I think it was $20 billion was lost through all these hedge fund managers.
I think they, even though they were stopping them from doing the GameStop and AMC, I think they even started doing BlackBerry. Like BlackBerry went up to like 13% or something, and then I think they got like some kind of cryptid currency they brought up to 13 cents a share, and it was at like a couple pennies or some shit. It was a joke. It was supposed to be a joke currency, but they made it a legit currency when they started investing in it or something. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
and I even heard it on the radio. This one guy coming out, he was from Wall Street, telling, well, these kids and these people, they shouldn't be sitting behind a computer screen for 2 to 3 hours a day. They could be going and making friends or working out. And it's just like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Of
They
course they're
know
gonna
your
say that.
game. They figured out y'all's game and costing you money. And now you're concerned about what these motherfuckers are doing in their own homes.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. All right, this
Of course
and
they're gonna
and
say
now
that.
though the cycle though, they could really fuck up Wall Street and just these hedge funds, and just fucking run them out. Because these motherfuckers are making billions of dollars off of other people's back, you know, by
Yeah.
playing that little game of running stock down, buying it up, and then selling it at a higher price.
Yeah, I saw a Joe Rogan episode where he was talking about it with one of his guests, and he was like, "How are they going to stop this? They really can't stop it. There's nothing they can do about it."
unless they shut down the apps.
Yeah,
Because
make it.
that's what Robin Hood was like. Oh well, this is for the little guy. Screw the big Wall Street people. We're here for you. And then it's like, yeah, until this wagon, people start circling the wagon like, you need to shut this shit down.
Yeah. Well,
So
apparently, uh, after Robin Hood did that, they it pissed a bunch of people off, and a lot of people went on Google and rated them and gave them a 1 star, thousands of 1 star ratings. Google went through and deleted all of them.
yeah, because that's not a real rating.
So
The
they
problem
pretty
is though is when the government might step in now and investigate Robin Hood and their dealings, because what they did was is they cut off a sector of their market of Wall. You know what I'm saying? They promised something and they didn't deliver. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but have to wait and see.
yeah, it's pretty gonna be interesting to see what comes about all this. I saw a funny meme though. We'll end this after this if you want. A meme that was GameStop stock is up, so now they can afford to pay 25 cents for your game.
Yeah. Or yeah, the one guy tweeted out something like this is the most GameStop shit I've ever seen, where you pay for $60 for a game and they give you 25 cents back or something, like, because these
Yeah,
motherfuckers are just losing their ass on this stock. Because you go to GameStop, you pay $60, you bring it back a few months later, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you $10, buddy."
yeah. And then I'll turn around and put it back for $29 or $39.
Yeah, triple the cost. Which, I
And
mean, they got to keep a brick and mortar open.
but yeah, so I know I was all over the place with that. It was as leading up to recording this episode, it was going different in my head, but that's not me though. I'm all over the place.
It's all good. It's all good. And we'd just like to say we thank you for listening. Hope you have a great week. Share us with your friends and
Yeah.
take care and be safe. Take care.
Take care, y'all.